My beloved child, come close for a moment. Let your heart settle. Let your spirit breathe, for something sacred is about to be spoken over your life. I feel a stirring, a holy movement, as if the heavens themselves are leaning in to reach you. There is a message, urgent, precise, wrapped in divine authority, and it comes from Archangel Michael, the mighty warrior of God. Listen gently now, for this moment is not common. This moment is not accidental. When the realm of the Spirit tries to reach a person, it does not come with chaos. It comes with a quiet fire, a whisper that shakes the soul. And today, that whisper is hovering around your name. My child, Archangel Michael is standing watch over you, and he is announcing something extraordinary. Something that concerns your life, your peace, and yes, your bank account. You may think angels only speak of battles and protection, but hear me. Prosperity, provision, and breakthrough are also part of heaven's assignment. When God decides to shift your resources, He sends His messengers to prepare the way. I see a divine movement forming like a wave, steady, strong, unstoppable. And Michael is pointing toward you, declaring, "Tell them to listen. Tell them not to look away. Tell them the blessing is already moving. This is why you mustn't skip this moment, my dear one." A distracted heart can miss divine timing. A wandering mind can overlook heaven's answer. And Michael's message is wrapped in urgency because the blessing he carries has your name written on it. Something incredible is already setting itself in motion for you. Something financial, something unexpected, something that will touch your bank account with the light of God's abundance. But only those who remain connected, attentive, and spiritually awake will catch what is being released. Stay with me. Do not drift. Let this word enter your spirit like warm oil. Heaven is not whispering for no reason. Heaven is announcing because the time has come. My beloved child, lean your heart a little closer, for we now step deeper into the divine message unfolding for you. There is a moment in the heavenly realms when everything becomes still, when angelic feet pause, when the winds of the Spirit stop moving because a decree is being released. That is the moment I am describing to you now. It is the moment when Archangel Michael steps forward, not as a distant warrior of the skies, but as a messenger carrying something specifically prepared for your life. You must understand, my dear one, that heaven does not speak casually. When a word travels from the throne of God to an angel, and from the angel into the human realm, it passes through layers of glory, layers of purpose, layers of divine intention. Nothing is random. Nothing is empty. When Michael moves, he moves with purpose. When he speaks with authority. And right now, there is a vibration in the spiritual atmosphere, a sound that echoes your name, and Michael has been appointed to carry that revelation to you. Imagine, for a moment, the heavens opening like a curtain. Behind it stands an army of light, and at the front of that army stands Michael, the archangel who has fought battles on behalf of nations, on behalf of prophets, on behalf of God's people across generations. And yet today, he stands with a message for you. Not for a crowd, not for a world, not for a nation, but for you. In the Spirit, I see him lifting something that glows like golden fire. It is not simply a blessing. It is a declaration that something concerning your financial life has already been approved in the heavenly courts. I hear him speak your name with clarity, with seriousness, and with a gentleness that only the servants of the Most High can carry. He says, "Tell them heaven has moved on their behalf. Tell them the shift has begun." My child, this is why you must listen closely. When the angelic realm stirs, when heavenly messengers take position, when Michael himself carries a message, it is because something on earth is about to break open. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. Your spirit must be awake. Your heart must be open, for heaven communicates in whispers that only the attentive can receive. Sometimes, we imagine heavenly messages as thunder, as fire, as loud booming declarations. But most often, they come as gentle nudges, as inner alignments, as sudden understanding, as a still voice saying, "Pay attention." What you are sensing now is not ordinary. It is the spiritual realm calling you into alignment because something financial, something abundant, something life-changing is about to come into your hands. You see, the spiritual realm is far more organized than the physical. Nothing in heaven is chaotic. There are systems, orders, ranks, timings. When a blessing is being released, it moves like a seed carried by the breath of God, guided by angels until it lands exactly where it is meant to. And the message Michael brings today is that your seed, your blessing, your divine financial shift is already in motion. Heaven sees what you have been facing. Heaven is aware of the delays, the frustrations, the unanswered questions. Heaven has watched you walk through seasons where you had more need than supply, more pressure than peace, more hope than manifestation. But now, my child, the report of heaven has changed. What was delayed is now being released. What was held back is now being dispatched. And Archangel Michael has stepped forward to ensure that no force, no darkness, no confusion, no spiritual resistance can interfere with what hath been assigned to your life. There is something sacred happening right now, even as you listen. You may not feel the wind. You may not hear the wings. But the atmosphere around you is thick with angelic activity. Michael is standing guard, clearing pathways that have been blocked for far too long. He is ensuring that what God has ordained reaches your hands without interference. My beloved child, do not underestimate what is happening in this moment. You are not listening by accident. You are not here by coincidence. Heaven has aligned your steps to this word so that you may receive what has been written with your name on it. Think of how precise God must be to send his archangel with a message meant only for you. Think of the love required, the care, the intention. Heaven is not careless with its movements. When God sends Michael, it is because the matter is serious and the outcome is important. And the message is simple but mighty. Something incredible is coming into your bank account. Something heaven approved. Something favor. Something protected in the spirit. Something that has been delayed but not denied. Something that is already on its way. Stay connected, my child. Do not look away. Do not drift. The heavenly realms have begun their work, and you are standing at the very edge of manifestation. My beloved child, stay near as we continue, for what we are entering now is a truth many never see, never discern, never understand. When a blessing is released from heaven, especially a financial one, it does not travel through empty space. It travels through battle, and not a battle you can see with your natural eyes, but a battle waged in the unseen realms, where forces of light and forces of darkness collide over the destiny of your life. You have felt this battle without knowing its name. Every sudden setback, every unexpected bill, every door that closed without explanation, every moment of pressure that pressed against your chest, every season where you saw things slip through your fingers right when you thought breakthrough was near, all of these are traces of spiritual warfare. You were not imagining the resistance. You were feeling the edges of a conflict that was far bigger than your circumstances. My child, the enemy has always known the potential of your resources, because when a righteous person receives abundance, the kingdom of darkness trembles. Why? Because you do not hoard blessings, you multiply them. You do not waste opportunities, you transform them. You do not use wealth to build pride, you use it to build purpose. The enemy fights your finances because he fears what you would do if you ever walked in full provision. And this is why Archangel Michael steps into your story right now. For he is not simply the angel of protection, he is the warrior who confronts the forces that try to delay, drain, and diminish the lives of God's people. Where there is warfare over resources, Michael is often present. Where there is resistance against your elevation, he draws his sword of light. In the spirit, I see the battlefield around your financial life. It stretches far wider than you realize. There have been chains the enemy tried to place on your progress. Chains of fear, chains of confusion, chains of repeated cycles, chains of financial stagnation. At times you wondered why things were slow, why money seemed to slip away unexpectedly, why opportunities arrived but never seemed to stay. These were not coincidences. They were operations of resistance. But hear me now, my dear one. Michael has stepped into that battlefield. I see him plunging his sword into the ground, and when he does, the atmosphere shifts. The ground trembles. Darkness scatters. The forces that have fought silently against your increase are now breaking apart. Michael is not negotiating. He is not warning. He is not asking. He is commanding. He is declaring that the blessing on its way to you will not be intercepted. The resources meant for your hands will not be stolen. The financial door that has been closed will not remain shut. This is not just a spiritual moment. This is a repositioning of your life. Think back, my child, to the times you nearly gave up. Think of the seasons when you were down to your last strength. Think of the days when you questioned whether heaven heard your prayers. You endured storms that others never saw. You walked through inner battles without applause, without recognition, without support. And yet, you did not break. You did not abandon your faith. You did not let go of hope completely, even when hope fell thin. That resilience attracted heaven's attention. And now the reward is approaching. But understand this. Before a blessing arrives, the war around it often intensifies. That is why the days leading up to this moment have felt strange. That is why you experienced unexpected pressures. That is why old patterns tried to rise again. That is why fear whispered in the quiet hours. Whenever something powerful is about to be delivered to a child of God, the enemy panics. He tries to distract, discourage, confuse, or exhaust you so that you will step out of position before heaven releases what belongs to you. My beloved child, do not step out of position now. You are closer than you think. The spiritual warfare you've been sensing is not a sign of defeat. It is confirmation that something precious is being escorted toward your life. Michael is ensuring its safe arrival. There is movement in the spirit that the enemy cannot stop. But hear this part carefully. The victory in this battle requires your agreement. Not your effort, not your striving, not your anxiety, but your agreement. Your faith aligns you with what heaven is doing. Your attention keeps you connected. Your willingness to receive creates an opening for what is being delivered. This is why the message carries urgency. If you disconnect, if you drift away, if you ignore the divine stirring happening right now, you may not see what is already being transferred toward you. Not because heaven would deny you, but because spiritual blessings often require spiritual alignment. Michael is fighting for you. Heaven is moving for you. And the financial breakthrough that has been held back is now being released into motion. The invisible battle is nearing its end, and the victory is tilting in your favor. Stay with me, my child. You are walking through a sacred moment of transformation. Let your spirit settle as we walk deeper into this revelation. You are entering a moment in your life where signs have already begun to appear, signs you may not have recognized, signs that whisper your breakthrough is near. Heaven often speaks subtly before it speaks loudly, and many of the things you have experienced recently were not random moments at all. They were indicators that Archangel Michael has stepped into position, and that a shift in your financial life is about to manifest. Think for a moment, my dear one, about the unusual pressure you have felt lately, the unexpected challenges, the sudden responsibility, the moments when it felt like you were giving out more than you were receiving. These pressures were not punishments, they were contractions. Just like a woman feels pressure before she gives birth, your spirit felt pressure because something new was preparing to emerge. Heaven often tightens the atmosphere around you before it releases abundance to you. Pressure does not come to break you. Pressure comes to signal that something is about to be delivered. Some of you have felt strangely restless. Others have felt a sudden pull to reorganize your life, clean your space, plan ahead, or reflect on your choices. That restlessness was not anxiety. It was preparation. When heaven is ready to bless you, your spirit becomes uncomfortable with what is old. You start feeling a desire for change even before change arrives. You begin to sense that your current environment cannot hold what God is about to place in your hands. My child, think of the dreams you have had lately, the visions, the unusual thoughts that flashed through your mind, the feeling that something is coming, even though you cannot explain it. These are signs that your spirit is picking up signals from the divine realm. When Archangel Michael draws near with a message, sensitive hearts begin to sense the shift long before their minds understand it. For some, doors have closed abruptly. Connections have ended. Plans have been disrupted. And you wondered why. You questioned whether you made mistakes. But hear me now. Those closures were protection. Heaven will shut a door if what is behind it cannot support the blessing you are about to receive. What looked like loss was actually alignment. Michael does not allow you to walk into places where your new blessing would be wasted, drained, or stolen. Then there are those who have experienced small, unexpected blessings. Not the full miracle yet, but little droplets of provision that came out of nowhere. A small refund, a sudden discount, a stranger's kindness, a bill that disappeared. These were not coincidences. They were previews. Heaven often releases small signs to prepare you for the larger release. It is like the sky sending a breeze before a great rain. You have felt the breeze, my child. The rain is coming. Another sign is the stirring of faith within you. You may have noticed that although you have faced great challenges, something inside you refused to give up. Something quiet but strong. Something that whispered, "Hold on. Something is near." That whisper with the voice of the Spirit aligning you with the blessing that is on its way. When heaven is about to release abundance, God strengthens your inner resilience so that you do not collapse before the blessing arrives. And listen carefully, my dear one. The spiritual atmosphere around your finances has changed. You may not see it yet, but in the unseen realm, Michael has already cleared interference. You are no longer surrounded by the same level of spiritual resistance. The heaviness you felt before has begun to lift. The confusion has started to fade. The path is opening, even if only slightly at first. That subtle shift is a sign that breakthrough is not approaching. It is already in motion. Do you notice that your spirit feels more alert lately? More sensitive? More awake? This is because heaven is trying to get your attention. The breakthrough coming toward your life requires your readiness. Michael is not simply delivering abundance, he is delivering a season. A season of new financial flow. A season of growth. A season of stability. A season of increase. And your spirit is being prepared to walk in it. My beloved child, hear this part with great clarity. When the blessing is close, the enemy becomes strangely quiet. Not because he has those interests, but because he has those axes. Michael has cut off certain attacks that once reached you easily. The silence you feel around certain struggles is not emptiness, it is victory. The absence of the old battles is a sign that what you have been waiting for is beginning its approach. You are not imagining this shift. You are not dreaming it. You are not hoping blindly. The signs are all around you. Your life has been speaking to you. Heaven has been whispering. Michael has been moving. And everything is pointing to one truth: breakthrough is near. Now stay with me, my child. You must not drift, for the message grows stronger as we continue. Heaven is preparing you for what is coming. My beloved child, draw closer now, for we are arriving at the core of this revelation. This is the moment where the message of Archangel Michael becomes clear, sharp, and undeniably personal. What he has been preparing, what he has been guarding, what he has been fighting through the unseen realm to deliver is not a vague blessing, not a symbolic gesture, but a direct movement concerning your financial life. Yes, your bank account. Yes, your resources. Yes, the very area where you have cried, struggled, hoped, and waited. Listen with the ears of your spirit. Heaven has watched the cycles of lack that tried to cling to you. Heaven has seen the weight you carried silently, the nights you lay awake thinking of how to make ends meet, the moments you felt embarrassed to ask for help, the days you stretched what little you had hoping it would be enough. Heaven does not overlook these things. Heaven does not abandon its children in the place of need. And so, a command was issued, and Archangel Michael responded. The message is this: something incredible is about to happen in your bank account. Not next year, not someday, not in a distant season. The shift has already begun. The release has already been approved. The flow has already been unlocked. Michael comes not to promise but to announce. He comes not to give hope, but to confirm what heaven has already set into motion. My child, I see in the spirit that resources are being reassigned. Money that was blocked is being unblocked. Money that was delayed is being released. Money that was stolen in the spirit is being restored. Money that never made it to you before is now being rerouted into your hands. There is a divine intervention happening behind the scenes, a strategic rearranging that only God could orchestrate. Opportunities that belong to you are returning. Approvals that were paused are moving again. Finances that you thought were gone forever are finding their way back. This is why your spirit has felt the pull to stay alert. This is why you were drawn to this message. This is why you feel as though something is moving around you even when you cannot see it. Michael is standing guard over a financial transformation that is going to surprise you. It will not come in a way you expect. It will not arrive through the channels you are used to. Heaven is going to break the pattern. Heaven is going to shift the flow. Heaven is going to show you that no earthly system, no person, no bearer can stop what God has decided to bless. But hear this part with tenderness and seriousness. If you skip this moment, If you disconnect now, if you treat this message lightly, you may miss the alignment that heaven is creating for you. Not because the blessing would disappear, but because your spirit must be in position to receive it. Just as a seed must be planted in the right soil, a blessing must land in a prepared heart. Michael's warning is not a threat. It is a loving reminder that you must stay spiritually awake. There are specific windows of time when heaven moves, and you are standing inside such a window right now. If you turn away, if you rush, if you ignore the nudge of the Spirit, you may step out of the divine flow that is forming around you. This message is your anchor, your alignment, your spiritual positioning. It is the bridge between what you have prayed for and what is now being delivered. My beloved child, I feel such a strong sense of holy urgency as I speak this. Heaven is opening something for you. Michael is guarding it. Your obedience to listen, to remain here, to stay connected is part of the unlocking. You do not receive blessings passively. You receive them through spiritual awareness, through alignment, through hearing the voice of God when it comes. And there is one more thing, my dear one. When a message like this comes from heaven, it is never meant for you alone. Heaven always blesses you so you can help bless others. Heaven always lifts one so that the light may spread. When you share divine messages, when you spread spiritual truth, when you support the voice that delivers the word, you are joining heaven's work. You are participating in the movement of God. That is why, as a gentle instruction wrapped in love, I tell you this: share this message with others who need deliverance. Lift it up so that more souls may hear. Show support so the voice of light continues to reach those who are in darkness. Even this simple act becomes a seed you plant into the spiritual ground, and heaven never forgets a seed. Now remain with me, my beloved child. The message is not yet complete. There is more to reveal, more to uncover, and the next part will prepare you to receive the release that heaven is bringing. My beloved child, I want you to still your heart and breathe slowly, for we are stepping into the moment of release. This is not a moment of theory. This is not a moment of waiting. This is the moment in the Spirit where heaven has already begun to pour out what has been held for you. I speak to you now not from imagination, but from the quiet place where the spiritual realm reveals its movements. And in that realm, I see something unfolding with such beauty and precision that your life will never be the same once it manifests. There is a room in the heavens, a treasury of divine provision. Inside this treasury are blessings assigned to God's children, blessings that cannot be touched by corruption, cannot be stolen by darkness, cannot be manipulated by earthly systems. These blessings sit protected, guarded, sealed until the appointed time. And, my child, the time appointed for you has arrived. The moment is no longer distant. It is present. It is active. It is unfolding. Imagine the air in heaven shifting, as though a wind of light sweeps through the corridors of eternity. Angels pause. They turn. They listen. A command goes out. A command that carries your name. Not someone else's. Yours. And Archangel Michael, standing in readiness, steps forward to oversee the release. He is not coming to negotiate your blessing. He is coming to escort it. I see him carrying something radiant, something luminous, something overflowing with divine purpose. It is not simply money. It is provision tied to your destiny. It is financial release accompanied by spiritual elevation. For when heaven blesses, it does not bless one area only. It breathes life into everything connected to it. This release will not just touch your bank account. It will touch your future, your peace, your stability, your confidence, your purpose. My child, financial miracles rarely come quietly in the spirit. They come with activity. They come with spiritual rearranging. They come with angelic motion. And right now, your life is surrounded by movement. I see chains that once held your finances bound now breaking apart like brittle branches. I see closed doors unlocking not because you forced them but because heaven placed its hand upon them. I see pathways that were blocked suddenly clearing, like a forest parting to create a road where none existed before. This is how heaven releases blessing, not in chaos, not in confusion, but in divine timing. You have reached a point in your journey where the season of waiting is giving way to the season of receiving. It is like standing at the edge of a river that has been dammed for a long time, only to watch the barriers lift and the waters rush forward. That is what I see concerning your finances. A flow that was stopped is now moving freely. A supply that was hindered is now rushing with strength. But hear me, my beloved child. The manifestation in the physical realm is always preceded by release in the spiritual realm. Before you see it, heaven sends it. Before it shows up in your bank account, it shows up in your atmosphere. Before you touch it, your spirit feels it. That is why you have felt a shift without knowing how to explain it. That is why you sense something coming, even if you cannot name it. Your spirit already knows what heaven has begun. Your only responsibility in this moment is to remain open. Remain expectant. Remain aligned. This is not the hour to doubt. This is not the hour to shrink back. This is not the hour to assume that nothing is happening. This is the hour to stand in agreement with what heaven is doing. The enemy always tries to get God's children to doubt at the very moment heaven moves. The enemy tries to make you think nothing is happening right when everything is happening. But now you know the truth. The moment of release is here. My dear one, imagine a hand extending toward you from the realm of glory. In that hand is the provision that belongs to you. The hand is steady. The hand is generous. The hand is sure. And as it lowers toward your life, Michael stands beside it, ensuring that nothing interferes with what is being placed into your hands. This is not wishful thinking. This is not fantasy. This is prophetic truth unfolding as we speak. There will come a moment, very soon, when something shifts tangibly in your finances. A deposit, an approval, a call, a settlement, a sudden clearance, a forgotten amount returning, a new opportunity appearing. Something that seemed blocked will open. Something that seemed impossible will become simple. Something that felt delayed will accelerate. This is heaven's pattern. The spirit moves first, the earth follows second. And now, my beloved child, heaven has moved. You are standing in the center of divine release. You are not waiting for the moment. You are living inside it. Everything around you is adjusting to make room for what is coming. Every spiritual resistance is falling. Every heavenly resource is aligning. The blessing is not approaching. It is being delivered. My beloved child, come closer once more, for the moment we enter now is one of preparation. Heaven has already begun its release. The flow has already been opened, and the blessing is already on its way. But even the greatest rain requires the ground to be ready to receive it, where the water will simply run off and be wasted. In the same way, your spirit must be prepared so that the financial elevation heaven is bringing can take root, flourish, and multiply in your life. What is coming to you is not small, not temporary, not shallow. It is a shift that requires a strengthened spirit, a focused mind, and a heart anchored in divine trust. My child, Preparation begins with stillness. While heaven is moving, the enemy tries to fill your mind with noise. He whispers doubt, fear, and confusion. He brings distractions from unexpected places. He tries to make you feel unworthy or unready. But you must silence every voice except the one that comes from God. You prepare your spirit by becoming still inside, by allowing the peace of God to sit upon your heart like a warm mantle. Let go of the frantic energy. Let go of the rushing thoughts. Let go of the fear that has followed you for years. Peace is the soil in which blessings grow. The next part of preparation is expectation. Not the fragile kind that falls apart when something looks delayed, but the deep, unshakable expectation that knows heaven cannot lie. Expectation is faith with its eyes open. Expectation is the posture of one who has already received in the Spirit and is waiting only for the physical manifestation. My beloved child, walk with the confidence that something good is coming. Speak with the calmness of someone who knows change is near. Think with the clarity of one who trusts God's timing. Expectation draws blessings closer. Then, there is alignment. Alignment means positioning your heart in agreement with heaven's will. Many people sabotage their own blessings by worrying, complaining, doubting, or speaking negativity over their lives. But you, my child, must choose differently. Speak life over your finances. Speak increase. Speak favor. Speak open doors. Speak divine movement. Your words are seeds, and in this season, the soil of your life is fertile. Be intentional with what you plant. Heaven has aligned with you. Now align with heaven. Another part of preparation is release. Not the release of blessings, but the release of burdens. You cannot receive with clenched fists. So open your hands and let go. Let go of old disappointments. Let go of the memories of lack. Let go of the fear of repeating past mistakes. Let go of the guilt you've carried for things that were never your fault. Release the pain of yesterday so you can embrace the promise of tomorrow. Your spirit cannot hold both fear and faith at the same time. Choose faith. My child, preparation also involves clarity. Spend time understanding what you desire, what you are called to do, what direction you want your life to take. Heaven is not releasing this financial shift for you to squander it or drift aimlessly. This blessing is purposeful. It is meant to build, to strengthen, to grow, to elevate you into the next chapter of your destiny. Ask yourself, what would I do if the blessing arrived today? Who would I serve? What would I build? What would I change? What would I honor? This clarity will act as a container, giving shape and direction to the blessing. Do not forget gratitude, for it is the key that keeps heaven's doors open. Gratitude is not just saying thank you. It is living with the awareness that God is moving in every moment of your life. Gratitude keeps your spirit soft, open, receptive. When you begin to thank God for what you have yet to see, you step into the maturity of faith. You show the heavens that you trust the process. You show Michael that you stand ready to receive what he has been guarding. My beloved child, there is also the preparation of vision. Begin to see yourself blessed. See yourself walking in abundance. See your bank account stable, growing, flourishing. See your life free from financial stress. See your future bright. The mind is the canvas on which faith paints the picture of what is coming. Do not let old memories paint shadows where God wants to paint light. Lift your vision higher. Visualize the future heaven is preparing for you. And finally, prepare through surrender. This is not surrender in weakness. It is surrender in trust. It is the quiet acceptance that God knows the right timing, the right path, the right method. It is letting go of control and allowing heaven to do what heaven does best. Surrender shifts the weight from your shoulders to God's. It frees your spirit from striving and opens your life to receiving. My child, if you prepare your spirit in these ways, the blessing that is coming will not overwhelm you. It will not slip away. It will not be mismanaged. It will not be lost. Instead, it will grow, multiply, and anchor you firmly in the next level of your destiny. My beloved child, for this part of the journey carries a special anointing. Testimonies in the Spirit are not merely stories. They are prophetic confirmations. They are echoes from the realm of God, revealing what happens when a person aligns with heaven's timing and receives the visitation of angels. When you hear these testimonies, let them not pass by as simple narratives. Let them awaken your faith, strengthen your expectation, and remind you that the same God who moved for others is now moving for you. There was once a woman, quiet in spirit, humble in heart, who lived her life with honest effort but constant financial strain. She prayed in secret because she felt embarrassed to speak of her struggles aloud. One day, she felt a stirring in her heart, a sense that something was approaching her life in a way she could not explain. She sensed the presence of Michael but did not yet understand the message. And then it happened. A delayed approval, one she had forgotten about, was suddenly released. Funds she had given up hope on were deposited into her hands. She wept not because of the money, but because she realized heaven had been fighting for her long before she ever saw the result. My child, her story mirrors what heaven is doing for you right now. She aligned her heart, remained attentive, and received what had been held for. There was a battle over her blessing, yes, but Michael fought through it. And the moment she stayed connected, the release could finally reach her. Then there was a young man, a man of quiet dreams but heavy burdens. He worked hard, harder than most, yet every time he gained a little, something unexpected would take it away. He felt cursed, forgotten, overlooked. But one night, as he prayed, he saw a flash of light in a vision, a sword descending through darkness. He didn't know it then, but it was Michael breaking the chains around his finances. Days later, an opportunity he thought he had lost forever returned to him. Lie only returned but came back multiplied. The breakthrough was so sudden, so precise, that he knew it had not come from the natural world. It was divine intervention. My beloved child, testimonies such as these are not meant to make you admire others. They are meant to awaken the truth that heaven moves in patterns. The same angel who fought for them is fighting for you. The same God who opened doors for them is opening doors for you. The same flow that touched their lives is now preparing to touch yours. Listen to another story, one hidden in the quiet places of the Spirit. A man had been faithful for years, giving, praying, believing, yet nothing seemed to shift. He began to wonder if perhaps heaven had overruled him. One night, while sitting in silence, he felt a pressure in his chest, not of fear but of presence, a holy presence. And he heard a whisper, "Hold your position. I am worthy." 3 days later, someone who owed him funds he never expected to receive suddenly contacted him. Not only did he receive the exact amount owed, but an additional blessing was added on top. When he asked why, the person had no explanation other than, "I felt compelled to release this to you." My child, do you not see how heaven works? When angels move, people feel led without knowing why. When Michael clears the path, resources begin to find their rightful owner. When God opens a season, nothing can stop what flows through it. There was also a mother with very little, raising her children with quiet strength. She struggled often, yet she remained grateful, remained hopeful, remained prayerful. One morning she awoke with a strange peace, as though someone was standing watch over her home. That same afternoon, she received a financial answer that lifted her out of months of difficulty. She later said it felt as though heaven had stepped into her living room. In truth, heaven had stepped into her situation long before the blessing physically arrived. My beloved child, testimonies remind us that spiritual movements always precede earthly manifestations. They show us that delay is not denial, that unseen battles are worth fighting, and that heaven never moves too late. Michael did not step into a situation without purpose. When he stands beside someone, it is because something heavy is being lifted, something blocked is being released, something valuable is being protected. These testimonies live in the Spirit as reminders that God does not change. The patterns are the same, the order is the same, and the love is the same. The only variable is alignment. When a heart listens, when a soul stays present, when a spirit remains open, the blessing arrives with perfect precision. Hear me, my child. The testimonies you just heard are not distant stories. They are prophetic previews of what is coming for you. They are spiritual mirrors reflecting the breakthrough that is approaching your life. You are not listening to this by accident. You are listening because the same hand that moved for them is preparing to move for you. My beloved child, come close once again, for what I must speak now carries both tenderness and urgency. This is the part of the message that many overlook, yet it is the very part that determines whether a person steps into their blessing or watches it pass by. Heaven is generous, merciful, overflowing with grace, but heaven also follows divine order. And when Michael delivers a message with urgency, it is because there is a spiritual window open. Windows do not stay open forever. There are moments in time when heaven leans close, when angels move swiftly, and when alignment becomes the key to receiving what has already been prepared. My child, listen carefully. There is a consequence to spiritual disconnection, not a punishment from heaven, for God does not punish his children for missing signs. And no, the consequence comes from stepping out of alignment with what heaven is releasing. When your heart drifts, when your attention breaks, when your spirit becomes distracted, you move away from the very flow meant to bring blessing into your life. Michael does not warn because he wants to frighten you. He warns because he sees what you cannot see, the opportunity, the timing, the movement of God unfolding right now. In the Spirit, I see many people standing in front of open doors without realizing they are open. They walk past blessings that have already been released, not because heaven withheld anything, but because their focus was turned elsewhere. They right. They doubted. They disconnected. They treated a divine moment like an ordinary one. And the blessing passed them by not because it was removed, but because they were not positioned to receive it. My beloved child, the enemy's greatest strategy is not to rob you of your blessing. He cannot touch what heaven has ordained. His strategy is to make you inattentive, distracted, or disconnected so that you step out of the divine flow at the very moment your blessing is arriving. This is why you must remain present. This is why heaven keeps calling you to listen. This is why Michael's message comes with weight. There are moments when heaven whispers, and there are moments when heaven calls your name loudly. Right now, heaven is calling loudly. It is saying, stay where I am directing you. Do not drift. Do not skip this moment. Do not allow your mind to wander. Do not allow doubt to cloud what your spirit already knows. The blessing is coming. The movement is happening. The release is unfolding. But hear me gently, for this part is sacred. If you turn away now, if you shrug off this word, if you treat it casually, you may miss the very financial shift that is meant to change your life. And it is not because God would take it away, but because you would walk away from it. Alignment is not passive, it is intentional. A blessing lands where a heart is ready. I tell you this not to place fear in your spirit, but to awaken the seriousness of this season. You have been praying. You have been waiting. You have been asking God for a sign, for a confirmation, for a moment that proves your blessing is real. And now that heaven is speaking, you must not silence your ears. You must not disconnect. You must not drift into the noise of the world. Michael stands ready with what belongs to you. He has cleared the path. He has won the battle. He has guarded the blessing. But even he cannot place it into hands that are spiritually closed. You must keep your heart open. You must remain in the flow. You must stay connected to the message that heaven has set before you. My child, consider this. Every time God was about to elevate someone in Scripture, he first called their attention. Moses turned aside to see the burning bush. Samuel said, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." Mary said, "Be it unto me according to your word." Each received because each listened. Each listened because each recognized the moment. And each recognized the moment because their hearts were attentive. Heaven is presenting your moment. Do you recognize it? Do you feel the shift inside you? Do you sense the urgency Michael carries? Do you understand that the blessing coming into your bank account is not random, not accidental, not just fortune, but divine orchestration? If you walk away from this moment, the alignment will weaken. If you remain, the alignment will strengthen. This is your crossroads. One path leads to breakthrough, the other to delay. The prophetic warning comes not to frighten you, but to guide you away from delay and into fulfillment. This is why heaven says, say with this message, honor this moment. Hold this word in your spirit. Do not rush. Do not drift. Do not disconnect. For the blessing is too close, too significant, too prepared, too important to be missed. My beloved child, the financial shift coming to your life is unlike anything you have seen before. It carries weight. It carries purpose. It carries destiny. And Michael's warning is simply this: do not step away now. You are being drawn into the very place where heaven will meet your need. My beloved child, for we have reached the closing of this sacred journey. You have walked with me through revelation, through warning, through preparation, through the movements of heaven itself. And now, in this holy moment, I stand with you as Archangel Michael stands in the Spirit, and together we speak a final blessing over your life. Listen with your heart, for heaven bends low in moments like this. There is a hush in the spiritual realm when a word is being sealed, when a blessing is being finalized, when a season of struggle gives way to a season of divine release. I feel the presence of peace wrapping around you like a garment, soft yet powerful, gentle yet unshakable. This peace is a sign that the message has reached its destination, your heart. My child, a new chapter is opening before you. The financial shift that has been promised, the movement that Michael has guarded, the blessing that has traveled through the unseen realms is drawing closer, closer, closer to your life. Heaven has aligned itself with your season. What once seemed impossible is becoming possible. What once seemed far is coming near. What once was delayed is now emerging with speed. You are stepping into a time when you will look back and say, It was after that message that everything began to change. Not because the words were powerful, but because heaven was speaking through them. Not because the moment was emotional, but because the moment was divine. You are not the same person who began this journey. Your spirit has been awakened. Your faith has risen. Your alignment has deepened. And now, with the authority of heaven's presence in this moment, I speak blessing over your bank account, blessing over your home, blessing over your provision, blessing over every door connected to your finances. May the angels of God go before you. May Michael stand guard over every resource assigned to your name. May every delay crumble. May every blockage break. May every seed multiply. May every lack be replaced with abundance. And my beloved child, as you walk forward from this moment, remember that heaven moves through unity, through shared light, through voices that carry truth to those who need it. When you lift this message, when you allow others to hear it, you join heaven's work. You spread light. You spread hope. You become a vessel through which others are awakened. Consider it a divine honor to share what heaven is doing. It is not a task, it is a call. Now receive this final blessing. May the God who sees you, the God who loves you, the God who has prepared this breakthrough for you, complete every good thing he has begun. May your steps be guided. May your path be protected. May your spirit stay aligned. And may your blessing manifest in fullness. In the authority of heaven, in the presence of Michael, and in the peace of the Almighty, it is done. Amen.